Hiya folks, my name is Matt and I like to make tiny nerdy things. Wait, I mean art. And if you've never seen a video from the YouTube channel North of the Border, I suppose this intro feels quite random to you. But that is because in today's video I'm a proper thief and steal the entire concept from one of his videos. Which is the video properly titled I made a T-Rex and gave it flamethrowers. And I will be creating a giant vector artwork based on the sculpture he created. I've been a big fan of his channel for many years, and when I saw his video I instantly knew I wanted to create art based on the concept. And when I say sculpture, I really need to emphasize that he sculpted everything from scratch with clay. And the final results are out of this world incredible. I really can't comprehend how he's able to create such detailed sculptures with clay, but man is it enjoyable to watch his process. I've made sure to link the video in the description, so make sure to check it out. Alright, let's get going on this sketch. It is as always created in Photoshop with the default round brush. And for this one I did not want to stray too far from the original concept, so I tried to keep the pose somewhat the same. I did, however, make sure to make the flamethrowers a bit more powerful, because I wanted fire to be very present in my rendition. And I'm no stranger to working with fire in my art, but I might have gone a bit too overboard with this piece. But hey, sometimes it's just great to throw the phrase less is more straight out of the window and just go with it. And I figured a T-Rex with not just one but two flamethrowers wouldn't have too much impulse control, so I set everything on fire. And with the sketch, composition and coloring figured out, it was time to head over to Adobe Illustrator and get going on the vectorization process. And if you've noticed, my recordings look way smoother than they used to look. It's because I've changed how I record my art. I now have one monitor with a zoomed out version of the Illustrator file that I'm working on, to avoid giving you, the viewers, seizures from all the jumping around when it's sped up. I hope you all agree that this makes my videos more enjoyable to watch. And if you saw my previous video, you might think that's not the same setup as last time. And you would be absolutely right. Because that segment was recorded in late 2022, and I have since moved apartments as well as upgraded my setup a fair bit. But that does not mean it took me 1.5 years to complete this illustration, but I've been working on it on and off when I've had the time. The vectorization process was, however, quite tedious and took way longer than I expected, but it was well worth it in the end. All in all, it took me around 17 hours to complete the illustration, and I'm sure some of you think that it sounds absolutely insane to spend that amount of time on some fan art, but I suppose that's the beauty of art. When inspiration hits you, you must seize the opportunity and start creating, no matter how ludicrous the idea or subject matter is. But hopefully, most of you who are watching this video find the artwork enjoyable, and in best case scenario, some of you get inspired to create something from watching this video. If that's the case, make sure to share it, because I'd love to see it. Well, we're starting to wrap up this artwork, so I will cue some music before the final reveal. And there we have it. I'm not 100% pleased with how it turned out. I think the background might have needed a bit more work, but at the same time, I wanted the focus to be on the T-Rex. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe for more content like this one. And if you haven't already, make sure to check out my previous video. It's one of my best illustrations and videos that I've ever created.